Let's talk about how a pro of Albion Online would play if they had to start completely over, knowing everything that I know now. If I were to start brand new from the beginning, this is what I would do. Step 1 is to use Swolebenji's referral code, which is me, the person you're watching, and the reason why is I am the most referred, character, person, whatever, in the entire game, so when you use my referral link specifically, you get better rewards than if you use someone else's. And to find that, you just go into the description of any video, and you just click the referral link. You can also scroll down to the pinned comment, and the same referral link is right there. Now, because it is against the rules to refer yourself when making a new account, I can't do this step. Step number 2 is I would use the native client, not Steam and not the Epic Games Store. And the reason why, there's a few reasons. If you use these other clients, you will be paying more money in the cash shop if you decide to card swipe, but also, if Steam goes down for maintenance every Tuesday, you can't play Albion until it comes back up. I don't even know how reliable Epic Games is, but I know that my girlfriend plays Fortnite, and she complains the servers go down all the time, so I would just use the native client. Also, by using the native client, you have access to the test server, so anytime there's new weapons, or you want to try out and see how much damage you can potentially do with a build, then that is available to you, whereas on Steam and Epic Games Store, it is way harder to access the test realm. Now, once you've registered, you can then download the client. Oh boy. Once you've downloaded the client, then you would click settings here, and then you would go down to graphics and change what I have set, and I'll point out the important ones. You want your graphics as high as possible to see hidden treasures, but most importantly, you want highlight obscured to be on, so no one can hide behind objects, and this is enemies and players. Camera shake off, so you're not disoriented, and bloom on. Unlike other games, with bloom on, this helps you find hidden treasures, which means more silver, which is the game's currency. Now, during character creation, as a pro, I know that I can change my look and body and all that stuff anytime, but I do know that to change my gender, and it is male and female in this game, by the way, which is quite based indeed. Most games don't have it, they have body type A and B. But if you want to be a female after picking male, you have to pay real money or gold in order to do so. Also, as a pro, I'm aware that having a naughty name can get your name transformed into Googly Moogly and 4 numbers. That means your name was inappropriate. And, of course, let's talk about server selection. Now, the West or the Americas server is the Spanish-speaking server. It is the oldest server. Asia is the server you should not play, even if you are from Singapore and you have low ping. You should play elsewhere because the economy is ruined on Asia due to massive botting cheaters. Also, there are mega Zerg gank groups compared to any other server. This is the most miserable, hardest of hardcore server to play on. Don't play on the Asia server ever. Europe is the newest server. It's also the main server. It's only 1 year old. Most English people, most of the Americans and Canadians that speak English play on Europe now. They've abandoned the West server, and also most of the streamers and YouTubers also play on this server. For me, though, I'm going to be playing on the Americas server, so let's go ahead and get started. And you always want to make sure that you're playing the tutorial because the rewards are worth it. So here begins the adventures of Giga Chadpilled. Now, as an experienced pro player, I'm going to be grabbing these rough logs and these stones located on the right side after going up the stairs here. This will allow me to skip a crafting tutorial earlier, or rather later on in the tutorial, but not too much later. I'm just going to grab these, and I want to have at least, like 8 to 10 or 12 of these. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab these. There we go. The tutorial being super quick and easy, but it's also a good place for new players to make money. And we're going to run up the lighthouse. There's an invisible trigger right here that refreshes your boots. So using that, I can double boots use my boots. I don't know how to talk, apparently. But yeah, our boots have a cooldown. I'm using the F button to push that boot ability, but when I hit the trigger here, it refreshes my boots, allowing me to just be a tiny bit faster with the completion here. Now, I've already done that step, so I can go ahead and skip that and get my sword and board crafted, so to speak. There we go. We've crafted it. Put that sword on, get that AoE ability, go ahead and put on that shield. And now we still need 2 more rough logs and 2 more rough stone. So that is 2 rough stone And that is 2 rough logs, putting me at 6 and 6. Now I'm free to run up here and kick these guys' butts. Very cool stuff. Awesome. Alright, and they're just throwing rocks at the door. I don't know. I don't know if that deserves death, but you guys let me know. I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy too, and we're just going to kill them all at once. Picking up the silver. Now, I could get this little helmet here drop too, and I'm going to boots. I know there's silver on the ground. I don't need. I'm going to try to boots in here before the tutorial popped up. I did not make it. Skipping the little tutorial there. We can now go to the main part of Tutorial Island, and that is right in here. So, again, lots of people right now, 16, and this is instanced. You may not, if you're playing with friends, you won't always find them here. They may be separate from you for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and buy the mule. There we go. Pop that on, and then push A to equip, and ride the mule. There we go. And again, if you don't need me to walk you through the tutorial, then you can skip ahead, but I'm showing you how the pros do the tutorial. Now, I already gathered the necessary materials for the 2 pickaxe and the axe. Able to complete that. There we go. Open the world map. Skip. Turn in the quest. There we go. Time to go to the forest and slice up a fox. I'm switching my skill to a single target damage dealer. That way I can kill the foxes just a little bit faster. And yes, here we go. We got a fox right here. We can just dismount, immediately start slashing into it. Good stuff. And we're going to gather a little bit extra hide because I'm going to craft a bag, a tier 2 bag. That way I can have some more carry weight before I leave the starter zone. So that's 1 fox that completes the quest. I want another fox though. I'm a bloodthirsty boy. I need extra leather, so we're going to kill 2 foxes. That one down here just respawned, but he's not a full yield, so we don't want to gather that one. Awesome stuff. Grabbing the rugged hide, and that should set us up nice. We're going to get a couple hits of this birch log. This guy's also going to steal some, it looks like. I should get one more tap, though, before he does, finishing the quest. We're going to go turn that in now and do the follow-up, because that's what we're doing in the tutorial island. We're doing the follow-ups. Alright, turn in that quest, there you go, and now it's time to go do the same thing, but with different resources. This time, ore and fiber. And we are going to get a little bit extra fiber, because we need it to make a bag. That's the cotton on the ground here. So we're just going to slash the plants' bodies to bits, brutally murdering the plants. Alright, that is 1 cotton plant down. Let's grab 1 more. Now, I'm going to do a little secret thing. I'm going to switch to AoE real quick, because there's a little secret on this map that we're going to go to and get a little bit of extra money that's going to make buying gear a little bit faster later on. But first, let's mine some copper. We just need a little bit. We just need 6. There's 3. And there's 6. There we go. We got it. Now, I'm going to ride up to the secret area and yoink a chest if no one else has yoinked it. And the chest respawns every 2 to 5 minutes, I believe. It's not a long respawn, but it's a lot of starter silver. At least in the tutorial area it is. It looks like someone's up here. So they're camping the chest. So no chest for us. Lord of the Cave. What? He's got all... Dude, that guy is dedicated. That guy is crafting masterpiece grade gear. And yeah, there's no getting the chest from that guy. He is that's probably a bot. I'm gonna be real. It's probably someone botting that, but who knows? I don't know, but that chest that he's guarding, it's about 200 silver, which is not a lot of money, but it will let us save a little bit of grinding. So instead, we're going to turn in that quest, and then we have to do a little bit of refining. So we're just going to refine everything. There we go. Refined the copper into ore, the hide into leather, the wood into planks, and the fiber into cloth. There we go. Now we're going to turn all of this into this quest giver so that we can help repair the ship. And they gave us nothing yet. We have to turn it in here, and then we get 3 carrot soups, which we're going to save. We're not going to use them. And skipping the tutorial there, it wants us to go to the forest now. We're going to put on this helmet too, why not? It doesn't hurt too much. Get AoE on our weapon. We're going to go ahead and steal a heretic map from the NPC enemy bad guys. And even if the game tells you to go up north or to the right in the forest, you can still go over here to the left at the beach. It's much faster at the beach to do this quest. It does not matter where you go. And we're just going to pull some bad guys here real quick, like so, and then AoE them down. And yeah, we're fighting a lot of dudes at once. It's fine. We're used to it. Our health will be draining just a bit, but that's okay because we're just going to kill them all at once. And yeah, we're like a samurai or something. I don't know. Let's see. What's another good pull here? And those all have casters. Yeah, we'll pull these two, and then we'll fight these 4, and we'll make sure we kill the wizard first. At least enough hits to kill him before he can channel a spell, making us move. And we're wounding everyone else just enough to kill them. All right, we're gonna heal while completing this little quest by staying in the circle. There we go. And just a few more pulls. We do need to kill a little bit more here, because normally I would just go to that chest and have enough money for the next step, but because there's a guy camping it, we're gonna have to wrangle everyone to get a little closer together. That's gonna kill my mount. That's fine. The mount absorbed the damage. It's not permanently dead, it's just heavily wounded. Mounts in this game come back after 20 seconds after dying. Now, we just hit level up. We're gonna use our learning point. There we go. And while we're waiting on our mount cooldown, we'll keep killing, because we're going to need a couple hundred silver. I'm at 100 silver right now. I want to be at least 264 or so. And you can see every time I kill something, I'm getting about 7. So not a lot. These rock throwing guys, they don't give a lot of silver, but these little dagger dudes do. So that's why I'm going to yoink them first. And we're just wounding all of them kind of evenly here. And yes, I'm pretty wounded, but I should be fine. There we go. Our silver's at 125. You can see, by not getting that chest, it does take a bit of time. I'm going to keep grinding here, and I'll catch up with you. Alright, we have about 268 silver. That should be more than enough to buy the items for the next quest. We can now return to town, and here we go. I'll meet you there. Alright, returning to Captain Tia, we turn in that quest. There we go. And now we need to investigate each of the crafting benches here. That just tells us what do they craft, what do they have to offer. But I'm not interested in crafting, I am interested in quest completion. Now it wants me to get tier 2 head, chest, feet, and main weapon. Well, I already know what to buy, and so I'm going to be buying the cloth helmet here. There we go. That is the Scholar Cowl. It's got the little number 2 icon on the top left corner. And then I will also buy this Tome of Spells. There we go. I'm then going to buy the Soldier Boots. Now, these are plate boots. We want 1 piece of each cloth plate and leather. And then Mercenary Jacket. This would be the leather. And the Fire Staff is our weapon of choice. There we go. And if we put all of these on, that should complete the quest. I still need the help. There it is. Alright, now we can return back to Captain Tia, get our cape. And we have a cape now. Awesome stuff. Now, it wants us to find the heretic fort in the mountains. Before that, I'm going to stop by the little tool maker up here, click this bag icon, and craft ourselves a bag. And put that on. Now I have everything but a potion. Very, very cool. I'm also going to toggle just a few abilities here real quick. Make sure everything is good. And now we're going to go to the snowy mountains. And don't worry, we're coming back. But we're going to progress the quest just a little bit before the game tries to lock us out, because there's lots of juicy materials here in Tutorial Island that we want to take with us before we go to the main game. And again, this is one of the top and better and easier ways to make silver, so we're going to definitely do it. But for now, the game wants us to enter the Heretic Fort. We have our tier 2 gear. I'm going to check over here and see if that guy's still there. Or if I've entered a different instance. Let's see. Yeah, he's still there. Okay. Yeah. Yep. And he's got a similar getup, and his stuff needs repair, but that's fine. Kind of a bit of a time waste to spend too much time there. And we're just gonna attack all these dudes here. There we go. And that should kill them. We can kill things very easily with this fire staff. But most importantly, the fire staff is the first step to getting the curse staff, which is one of the better weapons in the game for both killing players, at least early on, and enemies. So we definitely want to go that route. Alright. As Giga Chad pilled as it is, we still have to mob grind just a tiny bit because we need to kill 10 enemies. So we're going to go ahead and just group these 3 up right here, and then fireball all of them dead. There we go. And it looks like I have reached Journeyman Reaver, which is kind of a game mechanic that prevents you from going to higher level zones and having an easy time. But we're going to bypass that with some clever use of questing mechanics. That's right. If you haven't played Albion Online in a while, the game has quest mechanics now. I know, it's wild, isn't it? It's crazy. But yeah, here we go. That is 10 enemies. Very cool. Create chaos by setting fire to the ammunition storage. Now, this is the part after we do this, we're going to go back to town. Haul the ship by lighting a signal fire. We're not going to do that because as soon as we do that, it messes our UI up. And the game wants us to proceed to the mainland, but we don't have a lot of stuff here yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw everything away but my skinning knife because that's what I want to focus on when I get to the mainland is skinning. And everything else can go because it's just dead weight. I don't need this tier 1 equipment. It's basically worthless when I get to the mainland. And there we go. So we have the skinning knife. Alright, and we're going to go back to town now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loot these rough stones. That's right. I'm going to go ahead and just do this big loop of rough stones until my character can barely carry anymore. And I know that this is a little bit boring and this does not level your character up. But each of these rough stones is worth quite a bit of silver. As a matter of fact, right now, rough stone is worth 201 silver. So yes, every single time I'm looting 2 of these at a time, I'm making 402 silver estimated. Now, I won't actually make that much because there are taxes when dealing with the markets, and I'm going to sell below market value. But it's still going to give me a very nice early nest egg so that when I do get to the mainland of the game, I can sell the stone to people who need it because believe me, like, you use rough stone to build so many structures, guild islands, and all sorts of stuff. And people pay out the wazoo because it's a pain in the butt to get. And people don't normally harvest this outside of the tutorial, at least not in bulk like we are going to be doing. And there's no better place in the entire game to harvest this because you may be thinking, well, what if you just go to the mainland and find like a bunch of rough stone? 1, it doesn't exist in this quantity, and 2, it doesn't respawn instantly. It takes at least 2 to 3 minutes to respawn, whereas here it takes a few seconds. Alright, so you're free to run about, and you're going to see a lot of players doing this. Because I happen to be the biggest YouTuber for the game, and I advocate that people do it, and so, you know, it is a very powerful early way to start your economy. There are people that actually just roll alt characters to just do this and make money. I'm not joking. They will make a new character and do this, and that's how they make money, because it's actually a very high silver per hour method until you have a character with high levels of gathering. Now, in order to make this less boring, if you have multiple monitors, you should absolutely load up your favorite stream, YouTube video, anime, music, something, and just go ahead and give that a watch. Now, I've been doing this for 2 minutes now, and my estimated market value is about 14,811, which is not bad. That's pretty good. Now, the gear we want's going to cost over 100,000, so, you know, we're going to be here just a little bit longer. And I'm going to cut to the feed when I have plenty of rough stone. Now, let's talk about carry weight. It's this number at the very top of the screen that says 28%. You can also see it here when you open your inventory. And you don't have to stop at 100. You just get slower after 100. Now, at 130%, you get even slower, and then again at like, I think after 160%, you get insanely slow to the point where you can't move after like 200-ish% or something. It's a little bit more than that, but you'll be so slow it's going to be inefficient. So I usually stop around 129.9%. That's where I like to stop. But you don't really need, it really depends on the economy, depending on how much these rough stones are worth, depending on your server, and depending on when you watch this video and do this method. If there is a massive surge of new players, then the price of stone goes down a little bit. But Albion Online has had a drought, and maybe the Epic Game Store, you know, having this game featured on it on the 16th of April, 2025, will change that. But until then, we, you know, it's good money, and if it's not good money, it's okay money. It's still going to be better money than anything else you can grab on Tutorial Island. It just takes a little bit of time. You're trading your time for money right now, and that's okay, because it's only going to get faster and better as we progress. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes. You can see that I have 130%. This number is orange, so I'm going to split one at a time and toss them so that it's now yellow. That's 880 rough stone for me. Your carry weight might differentiate based on the quality of your bag and boots. So with that said, we can now proceed back to the snowy region to get the hell out of Tutorial Island. Alright, so I'm going to light the signal fire right here. Boom, there we go. And then get to the pier. Well, that's right here to the right. And as soon as you leave this area, as a pro, I know that once you move that camera away and click this thing, or go down here, you can never go back. So we are locked. It's collapsed, unfortunately for us. We are locked in, and we have to leave. There's no going back to farm materials. And you can see that this guy's got lots of materials because he's running real slow too. Now, we're going to talk to Tia here. And then with that done, we're going to talk to the captain here. And if for whatever reason you skipped getting resources and you did the tutorial in less than 15 minutes, you're trapped here for 15 minutes until you wait for the time. Now, I'm going to be going to Step Cross. You can go right here on this menu. It's the orange one right there called Step Cross. The reason I go to Step Cross is it's one of the best starting zones for new players, best economy, best mob farms, and it is where skinners go to skin because there's more baby drops, because it is the skinning capital. With that said, we're going to talk to this little guard here, complete his quest, and if I have enough free time for the next 3 days to play, I would definitely talk to this guy and start my free 3 days of premium. Now, being a YouTuber, I don't have a job, I don't have friends or family or life obligations, so I can just start it now. Not a big deal. There we go. I don't need to do any of the other quests in the area, even though you can technically earn 1 gold, which is 8,000 silver. But yeah, normally you would. But I'm just going to leave this entire zone and go straight to Bridgewatch. And to do that, I'm going to go from Step Cross to Fractured Ground to Bridgewatch. So I'm going to go out this northeastern exit here. And yes, I'm still over encumbered. That's okay. We're going to just kind of gallop slowly from here to this part of the map, and I will catch you there. Now, as a pro, my UI does look a little different than yours, and that is because I went to the options here, and I went to game settings, and I went to the UI section, or interface, HUD editor, and I've changed everything here so that everything is pulled in a little bit closer to the middle of the screen, because in a PvP situation, you want to see nameplates on the edges of your screen, and that's why everything's kind of different looking than what yours might be. Now that I'm in Bridgewatch, the capital city, I have entered through this road. I'm looking for this little market symbol, which is this golden hammer, and I'm just going to walk up towards that. If I mouse over this, it says Bridgewatch Market. That means I'm going to the right place, and here is the market. So, at the market, I'm going to go to the right, and there's a bunch of people crowded around this lady right here. You can see there's a cogwheel. If I just left or right click that, that opens up. Well, you gotta left click it. And there we go, we're at the market. Now we can go to the sell tab, and we can repair, well, let's repair that skinning knife, why not? But we can sell the rough stone. Now, this menu looks a little simple. I don't like simple. Let's click this little arrow here and expand it. Now you can see 2 numbers. We have sell orders and buy orders. A sell order is when I put something up for sale, and someone else can then buy it from me. A buy order is someone offering to buy the item that I have for a set amount of price. So this guy is willing to buy rough stone at 138 silver each, and he wants to buy 8,289 of them. Now, I can just sell that now to him immediately and get 116,000, or I can do a sell order and undercut this guy at 185 and get 156,000. All right, so the choice is yours. Do you want fast money, but not as much money, or do you want more money? Now, of course, there is a tax and a setup fee, which I can't afford. You can see that this equals to about 10,000 silver. I don't have 10,000, so I could technically just sell, 10,000 worth of stone to this guy, and then set up a sell order so that if someone wants to buy rough stone, they can buy it from me at 185. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and quick sell it because I'm lazy, and money is very easy to me because I'm a pro player. But I do recommend that you set up a sell order and wait a few hours for this to get more money. But for me, time is money, and 116,000 is more than what I need. So there we go. We now have 117,000 silver, and I'll show you how long this entire process took. So all in all, the tutorial and gathering the rough stone took us 44 minutes of playtime. Not too shabby, not too bad. Alright, it is now time to stack a bunch of quest rewards before we do anything else. So step number 1 is you are going to whisper yourself. So you're going to push enter, type \W, / is next to the right shift button on your keyboard, or below the bottom left of the enter key, okay? It's on the bottom row of your buttons. So just type /W, spacebar, then type in your name. So that would be Giga Chad Pilled for me, and then spacebar. Then just type any message that you want. And this will work even if your account or character is muted. You will get mission completed. And so the way to access that is right here at the top. You're going to see the activities button. Once you've opened that, then you can click the Albion Journal. And you're going to have stuff unlocked already, like sell an item through the marketplace, 10,000 silver, 100k silver, maybe. And just claim all. Just go ahead and claim everything. There you go. And so we get these little tomes of insight, and these are experience tomes. Now, if you used my referral link at this time, depending on the server lag, you'll get an in-game mail, so you would open this mail, and you'll receive even more tomes of insight for using my referral link. Now, if you're curious, what do I get out of it? It just makes my referral count go up, and then I can sometimes do a claim rewards here. It looks like I got a registration reward for registering on the website, so let's claim that. And again, that's some tomes of insight, so that's cool. There we go. Awesome stuff. But yeah, I get little skins and tomes, just like you guys do. Continuing along now it's time to push enter, type /s space, and then type something in the say chat. Hello world, right? Just say whatever, and that'll give you another reward. Number 3 is target any player that's near you, and there's always going to be people in these towns, and just push the Y button to inspect them. Inspect another player. Now do that 100 times. All right, there you go. Just mash that Y button. It's real quick. You can see here, the faster you push Y, the sooner you'll get it. See, look, I have inspect 30 players already completed in less than 20 seconds. So again, it's very, very quick and easy to do. Just continue to do this till you get 100. All right, we have inspect 100 players, and then you're going to collect all of these little rewards here. So just claim, or I'm sorry, go over here to unclaim rewards, hit claim all, and there we go. All right, number 4 is add someone to your friends list. Just click on a random player, and then right-click their nameplate here at the top, and then click add friend. There you go. And you don't get the credit unless they accept. So you might have to, it might take you a little while to add some people, but you'll eventually get it, or not. It depends. Oh, and do this until you have 10 people on your friends list. To access your friends list, push the O button. I don't have any friends, so boo. All right, just like before, open your chat, type /LFG space, and then say hello, or something of the sort. And that'll give you another achievement. Next up, open the guild finder. At the top here, we have the socials button. That is not correct. We then have the rankings button and the shield button, which is the guild button. So click the guild button and then click guild finder. And just opening this will give you an open the guild finder reward. There you go. And again, while you're doing these, go ahead and claim all whenever you feel like it. Now, next up, we're going to enter a yellow zone. So we're going to leave the bank by going to the top left here. That will put us back in the middle of town. And in Bridgewatch, the entrance to the yellow zone is in the top right from the bank area. So it's going to be right up in here. And so we're just going to walk outside. There we go. We have walked outside. That should give us some kind of achievement. There it is. You can see here, mission accomplished, enter a yellow zone. In which case, we're going to now walk back inside town. There we go. Let's. It takes it a minute, but now that we're back inside town, we're going to bank everything real quick. So right here is the Bank of Bridgewatch, and it's this big hole right here. Just walk into it. There you go. That's going to put us into a different map because there's a lot of people here too. And in the center, you'll see a chest, and no one else can loot your chest. Everyone gets their own chest, so just left-click it, and just put everything that you have right now into this chest. It's totally fine. And be completely naked. We have nothing in our inventory and nothing on our character, because we're going to go and do a few little dangerous things, alright? The first thing is, when you're naked... Oh, add a friend. That guy I added. Look at that. Now you can just remove him. There you go. And I know, right? Unless you want to collect 10 people, but I'm not going to do that. So, right here, next to the market is a travel planner. It looks like a little compass. It's a person right here. You click on them, and because we're naked and have nothing in our inventory, we can fast travel to any town for free. So right here in the middle is a red dot called Caerleon, and this is an area surrounded by full loot zones. We're going to just go to Caerleon. We're just going to walk there, and that's going to give us, well, we visited 2 royal cities, but now it's going to say visit Caerleon. And now what we're going to do is flag up for PvP, because we need someone to kill us. So we're going to click this little shield icon here at the top left corner. That's going to activate this little PvP bar right down here. And we're just going to go punch somebody, and they're going to kill us. And by dying, we get a reward. I know that's weird, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to walk outside of town. So I'm just going to walk... I like going down here to Wire Forest, so I'm just going to walk to the bottom left here and leave town and walk a little bit away from the town gates because the guards will down you, and a player can execute you, of course. But that's what we're going to do. We're just going to leave town for a bit. So we just got the reward, enter a red zone. All right, and yes, this is a red zone. This is a full loot zone. We are PvP flagged up, and we're just going to walk along the road and try to fight somebody. Any player at all. Now, we don't want to do it near the town gates because the guards will just down us. So we want to find actual real players doing things. And if you just walk along the road, someone will gladly stop and kill you because... oh, see, there's a player. Just find anyone. Now, that guy's on a bear, so he's probably not going to stop for us. But most players will. Also, if you see one of these wisps, you can simply step foot into one of them. If not, that's fine. We're just going to enter it and then leave. That's all we're doing. And this is a black zone, technically. But it's also a mist zone, the mists, whoop-de-doo, right? So we entered the mists. We're going to get a reward for that. Follow a will-o-wisp into the mist, and we can just leave. It's fine. We don't have to stay. We just need to go in and out. That's it, right? All right. So, again, we're going to continue walking along the road, and here comes a person. Let's punch him. Boom! Punched him in the leg. He's going to dismount and fight us, maybe. Maybe not. Okay, here he goes. This guy is definitely going to kill us, so we're just going to slap him, and he will then kill us. There we go. Maybe. He's, there, here it comes. Alright, and we're dead. Get killed by another player. That is what we wanted. Alright, and then you just respawn. It's okay. We didn't lose anything. You don't lose money. You don't lose your silver. It's totally fine. When you die, you only lose what you're wearing and the stuff in your inventory. Never in your bank and never your silver, okay? Even though you may drop piles of silver, it doesn't come from your silver reserves. It's just generated by the game. Weird, huh? I know. Now that you've died, it's wise to unflag for PvP, so click this sword and shield, or this double cross swords icon next to your nameplate, and that will unflag you. If you can't unflag, it's because you weren't killed and you're flagged as a criminal. So don't worry about that. Alright, with that done, we're going to go back to Bridgewatch now, and there's just a few more risky things we have to do. It's very low risk, so don't worry about it, but you're going to go back to your bank, and you're just going to pull out the mule. Alright, we're just pulling out the mule. Also, that skull icon above our head, don't worry about it. It'll go away in a few minutes. It just means we attacked a player and we're dangerous. So go ahead and equip your mule and then go back up to the surface because we're going to go into a black zone, a portal zone, and we're going to teleport home because all of those things give us a reward. And so the portal zone in Bridgewatch is going to be right up here. It's called Conqueror's Hall Level 1. So I'm just going to ride directly north, kind of taking this leftmost side here. And again, I'm going to show you, I'm holding your hand through this whole thing, right? That way you can get juiced up as fast as possible. And trust me, this is way faster than playing the game traditionally. These tomes of insight are insane for ranking your character up quickly, leveling it up. So right here, this is the Bridgewatch portal town, and we're going to enter it. It's going to say that it will bind us to it. Now, this just means that we can't go to another portal city for 7 days, or we can in the black zone and make it bound that way. It takes about it's a 7-minute ride. It's not a big deal. So here we are in the portal zone. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just pick any direction. It doesn't really matter which direction you pick, but you want to make sure you drink from this shrine. So there's a shrine at the entrance. This will turn you invisible and silence you, then go into the black zone. There we go. So we have now officially entered the black zone. The mists was also technically a black zone, but we're looking for this little swirly portal thing right here. Every map should have one. You might be able to enter this, you might not, but if you can't enter it because too many people have entered it, leave and go to another map. We're just going to enter one and leave. That's all we're doing. Alright. And we're invisible, and we're silenced, and no one can see us right now except, well, hackers. There are hackers in this game that can see invisible players. I know. That's most games. Alright, so this little portal, it looks just like this, and we're just going to click on it and hit yes. There we go. Now we have entered the Roads of Avalon. We'll get a reward for that. And we're no longer invisible, but we are silent, so we can't fight back, not that we have anything to fight back with. We're immediately going to leave as soon as it lets us. Alright, so just go ahead and go back the way you came. And then what we're going to do is make sure there's no one's nameplate is around. No one is around us. We're going to push R and pay 422 silver and teleport back home. This is called Journey Back. Now, if a player approaches us and they are not on a mount, you need to click this portal and go back into it and run away because they're coming to kill you. And we don't want to lose the mule yet, even though the mule is rather cheap. So teleporting back home gave us another reward. So very, very good to stack up those rewards. Now, next up, now that we're back inside here, we want to find this portal, and this is called the safe portal. It's not really safe, by the way, but we're just going to walk into it, and we're going to pay a fee. And yes, this is cheaper than buying the books. Trust me on this one, okay? So we're going to go to the safe portal. We're going to click it, and it's going to charge us 10,000 silver to use. That's fine. We're going to pay the fee. All right, we have 10,000, and we get a reward for using the safe portal. And now what we're going to do, it throws us randomly in the black zone, but there's a portal to return. And we're just going to click that portal as soon as it lets us and return. That's all we're doing right now. There we go, and you get a reward for returning through the portal. I know. Now, from this portal zone, we're going to use the travel planner and just go back to Bridgewatch. You can also take the portal, but this is just, it's free because it's technically connected to Bridgewatch. And yeah, it's simple. Now, one thing that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't is getting the reward for negative reputation level. And I'll talk about what that is. We're going to bank our mule, though, and we're going to go back to Caerleon and flag up for PvP again. So let me talk about reputation. Reputation is gained whenever you just kill monsters and gather things. It's just something that stacks up. So if you click on your name and click stats, you'll see a reputation here. I have a reputation of 5. And basically, if your rep gets too low, you can't go into blue zones anymore. And if it gets real low, you can't go to yellow or red zones. You're restricted to the black zone. And you will passively gain reputation over time if that happens. You're not, like, banned forever from most of the game. But we do get a reward for getting, you know, below 0 rep. And right now at 5 rep, we just need to punch one guy. And that should activate. However, sometimes it simply doesn't work. So what I'm going to do is, again, we're back in Caerleon. We're just going to flag up again and punch people and get our rep down. It's really easy to get your rep back. We kill like a few enemies. We'll get all the rep we lost back. It's totally fine. Now, killing someone would give us negative 500 to 1,000 rep or something of the sort, but we're not going to kill anyone naked. We're just going to punch them and lose 10 rep. It's not a big deal. So again, I'm going to go punch people and lose some rep real quick. Alright, so here I am. I have the negative rep icon. However, I didn't get the reward. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You're welcome to try it yourself. But as you can see here, reputation negative 6. And we're suspicious. So, I don't know, man. Alright, we're back in Bridgewatch. We're going to go ahead and put the mule on and put our gear back on. There we go. And we're going to take these carrot soups and our skinning knife. And we're going to do just a few more things. Oh, and another quick tip, if you ever see someone wearing this outfit that this guy has on right here, you can inspect them and click this little crown thing. It's called the Decadent Robe. This skin allows them to throw money at players. So if you see them, they might be tossing some free money on the ground. You can just walk over it and pick it up. Next up, you're going to salvage your cape and study a soup. That's right. We're going to get rid of our cape. The cape gives us very little bonuses. 3.6 max energy is nothing, and the energy regeneration is 0.05 per second. That is nothing. Alright, so to do that, we're going to find the Elder's Repair Station, and only use the repair station that says owned by System Public. I think they fixed this. Players used to be able to set up their own repair station and charge outlandish prices. I think that's fixed, but it looks like it's this guy right here. He's a little bored dude. He's got a hammer and a table. So click on him. And then you're going to click on the salvage button right here. And then you're just going to drag your cape onto it and then click salvage. There you go. You get a reward for it. So that's why we do it. The cape is absolutely damn near worthless anyway. It's like 200 silver. The reward is worth more than the cape, okay? And we're going to do something similar with the soup. We're going to click on the Elder's Cook, just any of them. It doesn't matter. These are player-owned stations. And it doesn't matter. Just pick the closest one. I'm just going to go right down to this one. Again, it looks like a beefy meat, like potted pie or a pot pie, I guess that's what they're called. And you just go to one, and they'll look like this. They have a little food icon and a chef guy, and he's a happy chef guy. We're gonna go ahead and take the carrot soups, split one, and then click study right here. Drag it into the box, and then click study, and then we've studied an item. So now we have that as a reward, and then you can re-equip the 2 soups if you want. And again, as a reminder, make sure you click this button, click Albion Journal, and then go to Unclaimed Rewards and claim all. Very, very important to do that. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can go to your bank and pull out everything that you have banked so far, just to make it simple. And I'm just going to sort my inventory here. There we go. Everything's nice and tidy. Also note, sometimes people will just open trade with you, and they could be giving you stuff. Like this guy's giving me a minor poison potion. I mean, I'll take it. Cool, right? Oh, he's giving me 3 expert horses. Cool. For the sake of the video, I won't use this, but just note that players are generous sometimes. They'll just give you stuff. Also, it's funny because that guy has no idea I'm Swole Benchy, so kudos to that dude, I guess. It's kind of funny because I'm a literal billionaire, and he's like giving me stuff, thinking I'm a new player. But it is what it is. We'll just, you know, pretend we never got it. So next up, you want to buy 3 simple cloth and 3 stiff leather. And let me show you a simple way to do that. So here's the Bridgewatch Marketplace. You can either type it into search, or you can hold shift and left click the simple cloth you already have, which will put it in the search box for you. You want to make sure that the price here is set to lowest, and then you just want to buy 3 of these. So they're 15 silver each, that's 45 silver. And then again, stiff leather, we just want to buy 3 of those. These are 62 each. So again, 186 total. It's absolutely nothing. Now, they might go straight to your inventory, or there might be a red box right down here where you have to click this red box and claim the items. That's really dependent on your settings, but now that we have these materials, we're going to craft an item real quick and get a few more rewards. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're looking for an icon with a book. So it's right here, the Mage's Tower. You can left click this, it'll highlight all the ones. Just go to the closest one. The prices on these things don't matter right now. And we're just going to craft an item we already have, and the reason we're crafting it is to, again, complete more quests. Alright, so here we are, and this is called the Elder's Mage Tower. And what we're going to do is just craft the Novice's Tome of Spells, and just hit craft. There you go. So we crafted an item in a royal city. That's 1 reward. And then we have used a city's crafting bonus, which is another reward. And the reason why is because in Bridgewatch, you get a bonus for crafting offhand equipment. Alright, next up, buy a bean salad. Just search for bean salad, and then just buy one. They're about 400 to 500. And then equip it, and then dismount off of your mule, wait the 10 seconds, and then eat it. Now, we're not actually using this to craft anything. We're just eating it for the reward. So I'm going to go ahead and show you now. Here we are. We ate the salad. Eat a salad that improves your crafting, and that's going to give us these fame tomes, of course. So I'm going to go and claim everything. There we are. Next up, we're going to re-roll the quality of an item. So we're going to go back to this little repair bench guy here, open him up, and then I'm going to click this re-roll quality button. I'm just going to drag the backpack into it, and then I'm just going to pay 476 silver to re-roll it. Just do it 1 time. It looks like it needs to be repaired first. Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll just repair everything. There we go. And now we will re-roll it. There we go. And we managed to get a higher quality. If you don't, just do it again. It should go to a higher quality, and that gives us another reward. Next up, we're going to meld 36 runes into a random item. So we're going to just type the word rune, and it should pop up with these Adepts runes, and they're really cheap. You're just going to buy 36 of them. So I'm just going to buy 36 for 324 silver. There we go. And then we're going to go leave the market. I'll show you where the Artifact Foundry is. And this is a form of gambling in the game. But essentially, right down here is the Artifact Foundry. It is southeast of the repair station. So there's our repair guy that we did some stuff with. And we're just going to curve right around. This is an arena vendor. And this big old hammer old guy, this is where we need to be. And so we're going to select this blue thing here where it says rune. We're going to select that. And then on this third column, we're going to select the one all the way to the right, and that will cost 36 runes. Just hit meld. It's going to spin your runes and spit out a random item. This random item could be worth quite a bit or nothing at all. In this case, I made more money than I spent, so I successfully gambled. Now, this is how you can generate items used in crafting armors and weapons. in which case it's an item to craft the Stalker Jacket, which is something we're going to wear later in the video, but not just yet. All right, and then you're just going to sell whatever it gave you, and I'm just going to quick sell it, so we're just going to go right here to the imbued leather folds, and I'm just going to sell it to the closest bidder. I don't really care. All right, it is now time to level up. Now, make sure that you have all of your Tier 2 equipment equipped. Again, you don't need a cape equipped. That's fine. And you want to use a Tier 2 Tome of Insight. What is a Tier 2? Well, you'll notice that each of these books this has a 2 icon, this has a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6. It's this one right here. It's called Novice's Tome of Insight. It's going to give you 2,000 combat fame to everything that we are currently wearing, and we're just going to use one. So we used it, and now it's going to pop up a learning point thing right here. We're just going to click on that, and then we're just going to use 2 of our learning points and click Learn. And go ahead and do that with everything that pops up here. I'll explain everything that's popping up right now and what we're doing. This is unlocking the ability to use Tier 3 equipment. Alright? And so, there we go. We have Trainee Tracker. That's done as well. Just look at everything that pops up here. And we're just going to learn all of it. And your menu might look something... Here, let me move this down here. It might look something like this. Where you have Adept Reaver, Journeyman Adventurer, so on and so forth. And what that just did, again, we unlocked the ability to wear Tier 3 everything. So I'm going to walk you through the Destiny board now. And here it is. So we're going to scroll to the left. This is our Trainee Fighter section. And we're going to scroll up. This is our Journeyman Mage. And this means we can now wear Tier 3 staffs, including Fire, Ice, Curse, which is what we want. And use Tier 3 Tome of Spells, whatever. Over here, we have Journeyman Cloth Armor Fighter. This, again, should be learned. And then scrolling down, we have a Journeyman Leather Armor Fighter. This is also learned. And Journeyman Plate Armor Fighter. So that's the 4 things that we use learning points on. So now, in order to advance further, we need to equip Tier 3 gear instead. And I'll give you a quick shopping list of what to buy. So here's the things that you're going to be buying. Novice's Skinning Knife. And to do this, let me hide the text and show you how you should do this. Whenever you're typing in the name of these things, you need to toggle this drop-down box right here as to Tier 2 or Tier 3. Novice is Tier 2, Journeyman is Tier 3. This will help you. So if you type Skinning Knife, and you have the Tier 2 box selected, you'll see Novice's Skinning Knife. That's what you want. So anyway, we have the Novice's Skinning Knife, so you'll buy that, and then the Cursed Staff. So if I type Cursed Staff, it's just going to show Fire Staff until I toggle Tier 3 on the drop-down menu. And then we have Journeyman's Cursed Staff. Alright, and then Novice's Shield, Journeyman's Mercenary Jacket, Journeyman's Soldier Boots, and Journeyman's Scholar Cowl. So once you buy those, and they're all relatively cheap, like 500 to 1,000 silver each, you're going to equip them all. So again, they'll have a green background, except for the shield. The shield will have that brown background. And don't worry about allocating skills. We're not going to be actually using these pieces of equipment. You just make sure you're wearing everything, okay? You're going to be wearing, again, green for your helmet, chest, and boots, green on your weapon, and again, the Novice's Shield here on your offhand. Alright, next up, you're going to use 1 Tier 1 Tome of Insight and 1 Tier 3 Tome of Insight. So, this is the Tier 1 Tome of Insight. It gives you 1,000 fame. We're just going to use that. Just one. And then we're going to go to the green one, the Journeyman's Tome of Insight. And this one gives 5,000 combat fame, so you're going to use that one. And when you use this, you're going to have your learning point threshold met. As you can see at the top of the screen, Journeyman Adventurer unlocked. And then you're going to notice here on the left side, your boots, armor, and weapon, and cloth. All of these are above 20%. When something is above 20%, you can skip the leveling process by using learning points. So we're going to click the Plate Boots Fighter right here, and then click Learn. There we go. And then we're going to click over here, the Leather Jacket Fighter, and click Learn. And then Warlock, and click Learn. And then Cloth Cowl Fighter, and click Learn. There we go. And oh, we have the shield too. So you're going to push B and open your Destiny board, and you're going to scroll to the left here. And we actually need to unlock the Journeyman Hunter here. And don't forget, just buying those items, you get more rewards to claim. So we got those. We actually got the green one back, basically free, and we got a Tier 2 one in replace of the Tier 1 that we also use. So again, we're still getting rewards. All right, now you're going to buy the following items. You're going to buy a Novice's Bow. This is a Tier 2 bow, and Also, you're going to buy an Adept Stalker jacket. Now, you'll notice, what are these 4.1 items on the screen? I'm going to explain. I'm going to hide the text. Don't panic, okay? So what you're going to do is, by the way, you should get used to clicking these little circular arrows to, like, reset your search parameters. We're going to type the word Stalker Jacket. We're going to set the tier to 4. And to the right of the tier box is the enchantment level. And we're going to set the enchantment level to 1. Now, this is known as tier 4. This is a tier 4 Stalker Jacket. And because it's enchantment level 1, that is 0.1. So this is a 4.1 Stalker Jacket, alright? Whereas if we have a tier 5 with enchantment level 2, that would be a tier 5.2 Stalker Jacket. And the strongest in the game is tier 8.4. That would be 8.4 Stalker Jacket. Alright, so there you go. Now that you know, you want to set your parameters to tier 4 and enchantment level 0.1. And then you would type in Stalker Jacket, Mage Cowl, and Guardian Boots. And what you're going to do is once you buy these things, you're then going to equip the Novice's Bow and the Stalker Jacket, the Mage Cowl, and the Guardian Boots. Don't worry about allocating skills. We're just equipping them so that we can level them up. Alright, so go ahead and use a tier 2 Tome of Insight. Again, this one is worth 2,000 combat fame, so go ahead and use that. That's going to level up your Journeyman Hunter, and then you just use your learning points to unlock that. Next up, we're going to buy a Journeyman's Torch and an Adept's Curse Staff 4.1, and I want you to be careful with this one, okay? Because the Curse Staff, you might buy the wrong one, and I'm going to show you why. So first off, I'm going to type Torch, set my tier to 3, Journeyman's Torch, there we go, it's about 1,000 silver, and then I'm going to type Cursed Staff and set it to tier 4 and to 0.1. Now, lucky for me, the Adept's Curse Staff is right here, that's fine. And also, if you notice something is the same price or similar, but it's got a better border, just buy that one. Like in this case, these are the same price, but this one has a shinier border, so I'll just buy that. But what happens is sometimes the Great Cursed Staff happens to be on top of the search. So people accidentally buy Adept's Great Cursed Staff, and this is a two-handed weapon. It has a completely different spell than the one we want. So buying this one is a mistake. Do not make that mistake. That's why I'm pointing this out. Now, once again, we're going to then equip the 4.1 Adept's Curse Staff here, and we're going to equip that Tier 3 Journeyman's Torch, and we're going to use one Tier 1 Tome of Insight, so there we go, that gives us 1,000 combat fame, and then one Tier 3 Tome of Insight. Alright, and then that gives us the learning point for Cloth Cowl Fighter. We don't want to do that. What we want to do, and we don't want to do Warlock, what we want to do is Torch Fighter. So you wait for it to pop up at the top or click it right here on the right side. I'm just going to click it on the right side, and then we're going to click Learn. So what we just did is we unlocked the Tier 4 offhand for our build, which we want the Crypt Candle. These things can be insanely expensive, and we may or may not be able to afford it right now, and if we can, that's totally fine. It's just a damage boost. So as you can see, a 4.1 Crypt Candle is 95,000. We only have 73,000. Don't worry, we're going to make some money in a little bit. So we're just not going to worry about this right now. Next up, you're going to buy a Journeyman's Riding Horse. So right here, this is 10,000. Go ahead and buy one of those. And then push, or if you're off your mount, that's fine. Go ahead and equip the horse. And now we have a much more superior mount. This is the riding horse. Very, very good. By riding the horse, you get, again, you guessed it, more rewards. So now it's time to sell everything in your inventory. Not what you have equipped, but your inventory. You're going to sell everything here except for your Tier 2 skinning knife. And so we're going to clear our search parameters here at the top so we can sell. And you just go to Novice's Bow and you compare the sell order price to the buy order price. I'm just going to quick sell because I'm lazy, but I don't recommend that you be lazy because... Look, this is 653 versus 87. That's a huge, loss. So I'm actually going to do a sell order and get a little bit more money on that. Create a sell order is another reward, by the way. And again, these prices are very steep, so I'm just going to sell order those. We don't want to sell the knife. We want the knife. All right. Again, I'm just going to sell order. And, you know, it may take a little bit, but these will sell. Now, that's not much of a difference. That's like 9 silver. Whoop-de-doo. I'm just gonna sell that immediately. So there we go. That one's a bit more of a diff, so I'm going to definitely sell that. Yeah, again, I'm just looking at the price. If the price is too different, then I do a sell order. If not, like, this is 90 silver, who cares, right? And it's up to you to depend on how you want to sell it. Now you're going to select these skills. So we're going to start with the weapon. I'm going to explain some terminology here. So when you click on the weapon from your inventory as it's equipped, you can select different skills to use. And you're going to use Cursed Sickle for now until you level up and get more unlocks. But this is known as Q2 because the button we use to cast this is the Q button. And it is the second spell on the Q list. So this is known as Q2. So someone says, you know, Curse Staff Q2, W1, E1, that's what these are. All right, now for the helmet, we're using the Mage Cowl, and this is Fire Breath, so this is D3, because it uses the D button to cast, and it's the third spell. Now, the passive you'll use is Aggression, and this is the first passive, so this is known as P1. On armor, you guessed it, we're using the Electric Field. This is the R button spell, and it's the third spell on the list, so that is R3. Balanced Mind is the first passive. And then for boots, we are going to use Giant, which is the third boot ability, known as F3, because it's the F button to cast. And Toughness is the second passive, so it is P2. P being passive, 2 being the second passive on the row here. Now, next up, you're going to buy a pork pie, so just type pork pie, and then we're going to, it's a tier 7 food item. This thing is about 3,000. Go ahead and just buy one of these, and then equip it by right-clicking it. Now it's in our food slot. And it's time to roll out. We're going to be doing some gathering because we need to raise money so that we can spend all of these skill books on our full equipment set. And we're going to level up so dang fast. So from here, there's a few places you can go. I recommend that you either go to this tier 3 zone, Fractured Ground, or you go to a tier 4 zone, Smooth Floor Cleft, or a tier 4 zone, Long March Meadow. And we're going to be skinning animals until our skinning skill is level 3, then we're going to return to town and buy a tier 3 skinning knife and continue skinning for the entire 30 minutes. Alright, and so this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to show you the process now. And what we're going to do is we're going to ride around until you see these impalas. They're these little deer creatures, and you're just going to murder them. So let me show you how Curse Staff works. Cursed Sickle shoots a line out, and it hits them twice. There's these red floating skulls that deal damage over time. You can then cast Death Curse, and based on how many skulls are floating, this will explode and deal tremendous damage. You can also shoot a laser beam in a line that deals damage and shreds their armor. You can use your armor ability to deal AoE lightning magic damage around you, and your helmet shoots a breath of fire in a cone in front of you. And so with all of these skills combined, you can easily kill these animals. And with your skinning knife, you can just left-click them. But we're going to eat this pork pie first. We're going to eat this meat pie because this gives us a 15% gathering yield. And with our 3 days of premium, which you should absolutely activate if you haven't yet, go back to the tutorial area, turn in that quest, get your 3 days of premium, and come back to this. Now, once you've done that, that gives you 50% gathering yield. So combined, this is a 65% gathering yield. We then click the animals, so instead of getting 3 hides, we get 4. And then we get a 2 for our premium. So we just got basically double the yield, almost, kind of, sort of, not exactly, really. And while we run around, there's also these rough stones. Go ahead and grab those because we need money, and because we have premium active, we get 3 instead of 2 now. So that is really, really nice. Again, this is free money. So just run around, grab the stones, and skin animals. You can also kill enemies here if you want. They're pretty easy, but you can go ahead and kill them. They'll drop, 54 silver, which is not a lot. But mostly focus on skinning for now. And you may be thinking, what about mining? What about getting the fiber? Don't worry about that stuff. Just skin animals, because we need to hyper level skinning of animals to get our gathering set. And you want to focus on one gathering at a time, because it is heavily time gated by learning points. We are no longer spending learning points on leveling our gear like we were. We are only going to save learning points now for leveling our gathering. So also, this is a tier 3 animal, this cougar. You'll see here it has a 3 little icon on its portrait. And again, using our armor abilities, we can very easily take these enemies out. Tier 3 animals you can skin, but tier 4 animals you can't yet, until you unlock the better skinning knife. But go ahead and just skin everything that you see. And if your knife gets damaged, just go back to town and repair it. If you're in a tier 4 zone, you can use a faction outpost to repair it as well. But we're going to be getting rewards for skinning, so just go ahead and run around, skin things, pick up the rough stone, And you're going to make a bunch of silver, because that's the goal right now. Also, I must be lagging, because my spells aren't working. Now, you'll notice under our life bar, we have that pork pie icon. We have this for 27 more minutes. It's not a permanent food buff. It is temporary. So, just for 30 minutes, skin. And you'll notice here that on the right, I have Journeyman Animal Skinner. It's at 9%. Whenever I skin, it'll pop back up. It's at 10% now. And every time I, now it's at 11, now it's at 12. And when that hits 20, which you're going to click this and then learn it so that we unlock tier 3 skinning. And the higher tiers of skinning knives, the more gathering yield and the faster you skin. So it's going to make a world of difference. But right now, our focus is just getting money to complete our set. That's all we're doing. Also, what about your boots? Your boots allow you to grow big. And so this doubles your HP, and then once you ungrow big, skin 3 types of animals, we just got that as a reward. Once you grow big and then you return to normal, the HP that you lost is averaged out. So it's technically like a 50% defense buff, sort of. It means after you're done growing, you will take essentially 50% less damage than before. But yeah, that's all we're doing. We're just making money right now. So I have hit learning point reach for Journeyman Animal Skinner, so we're going to open that up and use 5 learning points to learn Tier 3 Animal Skinning. And now we're going to go back to town and buy the Journeyman's Skinning Knife immediately. Don't wait. Go and do it right now. Now, while you're in town, make sure that you just, you can repair everything. Make sure that you sell the hides that you get. You don't really need to keep these to refine them. It's just kind of a huge time sink. I'm just quick selling, but you can sell order them if you want to. You can see it's a 3, silver difference. But you can see that our money is rapidly increasing just from that little tiny bout of skinning. So, alright, we're going to get a tier 3 skinning knife now. There we go. Now, there is a rarity where these things run out in the markets, okay? And if they do, all you have to do is get naked, go to a different town, and buy a skinning knife at that town, then pay a small fee to fast travel back to Bridgewatch. That's all you have to do. It's real simple. I don't need to see people in the comments, but there's no skinning knives for sale. Now, with the Tier 3 skinning knife, you don't need to go to this Tier 3 zone anymore. You can go to these Tier 4 zones and skin the Tier 4 animals, but you cannot skin the enchanted Tier 4 animals. So just keep that in mind. All right? And, yeah, I'm going to go ahead, and the servers actually go down for maintenance in 28 minutes, so I'm going to skin as much as I can until then. I have gathered 250 resources in steppe regions, so that was a reward. Now, one tip for skinning is you want to pull as many animals at once and fight them all at the same time. So you'll see here that I'm attacking all of these with my staff, and then I'm just going to line them up and cast my spells, and they're just going to melt and die. It's very easy to kill this many opponents all at once. And you can do this with the enemies too. It doesn't have to just be the skinnable animals. And it only gets easier once we unlock Tier 4 skinning. We will have armor pieces that enhance our gathering yield, and a skinner's garb, which will give us poison on our auto attack, meaning whenever we swing our wand at someone, or an animal rather, they get poisoned and die super quickly. Also, you can start fame farming. You see, like, this Revenant here? You can absolutely kill this guy. Just attack him with all your abilities, and he'll go down really super quick. There you go, 1,864 combat fame, and you're going to start leveling up the gear that you're wearing, which is important so that we can get stronger and go to higher level zones. Now, these guys are glowing kind of like a green-blue mist. These are much more dangerous, but they are way more rewarding. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take them out, because why not? And I'm just going to grow big immediately from the get-go here. And yeah, so we're going to curse them up. And we're standing in their attacks, which is not good, but we have a lot of defensives. And you can see here that I'm able to take him out 3,824 fame from that guy. And this one should give a little bit more because he is a tougher enemy. And the trick is not to stand in their attacks. 4,250. And he dropped a Tier 3 bag, which is a free upgrade for me because I had a Tier 2 bag. And so yeah, you want to be killing these when you see them as you run around and you skin things. Now, as you kill things, you're going to see Adept's Tome of Insight unlocked. That is the daily reward, so go ahead and claim that. And there we go. That's that's free fame. Also, as you skin these stags, these Tier 4 animals, they have a chance to drop a baby, which sells for quite a bit. It's very rare that you get one, but when they drop, it's just It's like a free 90,000 silver little bonus. And if you're in a tier 5 zone, which we'll get to later, the Swift Claws can drop their babies, and those things are worth also around 90 to 100k. Also, sometimes players just leave crap on the ground, so you can just pick it up. It's free money. And again, continue to just grab as many creatures as possible. Pull them all into the center here. Grow big, dump your AoEs onto them, and yeah, just reap the rewards. Also note that your auto attack, I forget how many attacks, but your auto attack after every 4 is an AoE explosion. It will hit everything around you. So you definitely want to take advantage of that because, again, keep everything clumped nice and close. You can tank it with your gear, and again, killing is so quick and easy with this build. Gather resources worth 1,500 fame. That's another reward. Gather 100 tier 4 resources. Also, I accidentally broke it during this fight with this mob, but this is a hidden treasure. It looked like an animal skull that was glowing. Those things you could smash open. They have silver and these treasures inside that are worth silver that you can sell directly to the market. Now, if you come across an animal with a glowing green, blue, or purple aura, you're going to need a level 4 skinning knife to skin those guys. So you just got to level up. I'm at 6%. As soon as I hit that 20%, I can use my learning points and unlock that tier 4. That's why it's very important to unlock it soon, because it's big money just left on the ground. Now, as you're out here gathering and fame farming, you know, your carry weight's going to get pretty high. I'm at 114% right now. And so I do want to return back to town and sell that essentially. But later on, once we get more gathering gear and our gear is looking a little bit better, we're going to get better gathering equipment. So instead of riding a horse, we'll ride an ox instead, because an ox can carry way more stuff than a horse can. And that's going to let you stay out longer while you gather. So as you can see, I was able to use most of this meat pie. There's still like 3 minutes left, but I would get way over encumbered if I continued skinning. And so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go back to the market and sell our skins and the treasures we found, or any other loot drops we got from mobs. There we go. And let's do repair all, 658 silver. That's nothing. We want to keep that skinning knife now. We're going to, again, I'm just going to quick sell. Not the best rates right now. The market's kind of in shambles. That's fine. And depending on when you play, this might take longer or shorter. It really depends. But you can see now that we have 135,000 silver, so we're back up from all that spending we did. And now we can buy our offhand and start really leveling up. So now it's time to buy an Adept's Crypt Candle. What does this thing do? This is our offhand, and it's going to massively increase our damage. However, it makes us more squishy by lowering our defense. So we're going to be taking more damage, but that's okay, because we're going to be out-leveling the zones we're going to use this in. Now, I just want to point out, this is an expensive item. Please don't take this out to full loot zones. This thing, early on for a new player, this thing costs quite a bit. So you don't want to lose this early on. It can really set you back. All right, so go ahead and buy one of these, though. It's going to massively boost our damage, and then equip it over that tier 3 torch, and then we can just repair and sell the tier 3 torch. So we don't really, okay, maybe not for that cheap, but there we go. All right, so we are now geared up to the gourds. So what this means is that now we can use all of these tomes. We're just going to use all of them. Boom, boom, boom. And you can always save these if you want to try different builds, but you're going to be able to get plenty of these tomes anyway. But this is going to essentially level up our mastery and specialization, giving us more item power, which is how your strength is measured in the game. So there we go. We used our tomes. Also, if you're wondering what these tomes are called tomes of learning. They give you learning points. It's important to just use these whenever you get them. Not a big deal. Now, obviously, I have some other rewards that I need to claim too. So we have 14 unclaimed rewards. There we go. And again, the reading... we also got some silver bag rewards, so that's going to give us some money. Very cool. We also got this animal skinner tome that's going to give us some gathering fame. We're going to go ahead and just pop that towards skinning, of course. And then the rest of these, again, you want to make sure that you have the gear on, of course. That way you're getting all the bonuses and awesome stuff. So what did that do? Well, that essentially turned our warlock mastery here. We are now a level 15 warlock, and that unlocked a new spell, Desecrate, at level 3. We got a new passive at level 6. We can now wear tier 5 equipment at level 10. At level 15, we got Grudge, which we're not going to use. But the big thing that we want to get is Cursed Tar at level 40. And level 40 is very close. You know, we're not that far away from it, okay? We're closer to level 40 than we are level 80, or 85 rather. And especially not 100. 100 is quite a ways away, at least 8 to 16 hours away, depending on how risky you want to play this game. But every time we level up, it gives us what is called item power. So when you click on your weapon, you'll see item power 838. All right, armor is at 862, offhand 924. Again, the higher your item power, the more damage your abilities are dealing, the more HP you have, the more defense you have. So it's all around super good. But another thing, too, is that we've unlocked a higher Reaver level. What is Reaver? If you open your Destiny board and you go to the left, you'll have a Reaver level. So you'll notice here that this is the Journeyman Reaver, Adept Reaver. We unlocked Expert Reaver. This is Tier 5 zones. And we unlocked Tier 6 zones. That's right. As a new player, we've already unlocked Tier 6 zones in like the first hour of playing the game almost, right? And so what this means is that we deal more damage to Tier 6 mobs now than we did before, but we have significantly more defense against Tier 6 mobs than we did before. Now, we don't have Tier 7 or Grandmaster Reaver unlocked yet, so if we go to a Tier 7 zone, they're going to be hitting us for 43% more damage than normal, and we will be dealing 75% less damage to them, meaning it's really, really hard to kill enemies in a Tier 7 zone. So we're just going to avoid Tier 7 zones for now. And then, of course, Elder Reaver is the Tier 8 zones. That's the highest zones in the game. And again, you're going to get this done on your first day, no problem. But right now, our money is at 64,892. And I'm just going to check real quick to see if we can buy our next gear upgrade, our cape. And we can't. And the next upgrade is our Carleon cape at 82,000. We're at 64,000. So you know what time it is? It's time to go back out and do more skinning. And right now, we're still using the horse. We'll swap to an ox later, though we could technically afford an ox. They're only like 10,000. We're just going to stick to the horse for now. Now, as you're out skinning, if you need to repair, you see these little areas that says Elder's Repair Station. These are called faction outposts. We're going to be doing some of these later once we have more fame. But you can repair your skinning knife or your gear at those little stations without going back to town. Now, it is 10 a.m. UTC, so I believe the Europe or maybe not Europe, but most servers go down for maintenance for about 20 to 40 minutes at this time. For some reason, I'm not kicked out of the game yet, but it should be kicking me out any second. Now, I was in the middle of a fight when the servers went down, but however, the monsters and enemies don't stop fighting. So now my character is standing there AFK, getting beat on by enemies. And it will eventually log me out, but I will be eating a repair bill of 5%. Whenever you get downed by an enemy, you don't die. You just kneel down for like 10 seconds, and you get everything in your inventory and what you have equipped suffers a 5% durability loss. Now, this isn't a big deal early on, but when you have very expensive gear, it can get very costly. Now, I want to give you a glimpse into your future as to what gathering actually does when you level it up, okay? So here we have a full tier 8 skinner set, and each of these pieces gives a 3.5, well, the chest piece is 3.5% times 10, or 35% increased yield. The helmet and the boots give 1.75% per stack, or 17.5. Combined, that's another 35. So, in total, just wearing the skinner cap, garb, and work boots gives me a 70% gathering yield. I then have this tier 8 Avalonian skinning knife. This gives me an additional 20% gathering yield. Alright, premium is a 50% gathering yield. The pork pie is a 15% gathering yield. And you can see here my stats. Right now, hide yield is at 155% on the tooltip. Because it equips your knife whenever you're skinning, so you don't have to have it equipped. But also, by leveling skinning, you'll notice here that when I skin tier 4 animals, I get a 0.5% bonus when gathering medium hide per level, and at 100, level 100, that would be a 50% gathering yield bonus. So what this means is that if I have a bonus of 155, you add another 50, that is a 205% gathering yield bonus. And also, because we're using tier 8 equipment, we also have this tier 8.4 masterpiece maximum spec crit candle. Our damage is massively buffed. Our defense is massively nerfed, but think of the character right now that we've been playing and how slow it kills these giant stags. I want to show you how fast we kill it, okay? I'm going to kill it in a single auto attack. Boop. I booped it, and now it's dead. Alright? And look how fast I skin this thing and how much hide I get. Look how fast that is. Boom, 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 done. And from those 3 hits, we got 21 hides, alright? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, on our character that's only tier 4, or I'm sorry, tier 3, the highest yield we can get is 5 hide per skin, which would be 15 hide. So we are earning 6 extra hide than that maximum character's yield. But just to show, just to get even crazier, we can pump these numbers even higher. Because we can use max enchanted pork pie for 22.5% yield, which I'm going to tell you right now, in a save zone, you would never use this. Just one of these pies is worth more than what you're going to gather. And then an 8.3 gathering potion, which is going to give us another 40% yield. And again, these things are insanely expensive, even if you make them yourself. So you would technically never use it. But you can see here that I can just auto-attack mobs one time and they will fall over dead. And then I just have a massive pile of animals that I can just yoink off the ground like so. But let's go find another tier 4 animal real quick. Also, I'm wearing, you know, an 8.3 bag. I have this elite wild boar that gives me a huge amount of carry weight. And the cool thing about the carry weight on a boar is I don't need to have it summoned to inherit its carry weight. It's just always there for me. So yeah, very neat. Also, farming mobs is insanely fast, though you really don't want to farm mobs in a gathering set anyway. That's kind of a waste of fame. Now, with the 7.3 pork pie and the gathering 8.3 potion, if we attack this stag and then gather it, look how fast it'll gather. Boop, boop, boop. Like, that was instantaneous, right? And we got 17 that time, so we got a low roll, right? It wasn't a high roll like the 21. So let's try that again. And this time, we got 21. So you can see that the 0.3 pork pie and the 0.3 potion, they don't make too much of a difference. It's really not a big deal. It's mostly used for guilds and in-game high-level zones with very rare, expensive items. Not low-level zones like this. But the money is really good in low-level zones because everyone needs the low-level stuff to make the high-level stuff. That's how this game works. It's not like other MMORPGs where the other stuff just becomes obsolete or whatever. So, again, we harvested 21 that time, and I can't auto-attack this because there was a wall in the way, but you can see, it's just, okay, the potion already wore off, because that potion only lasts a minute. You got 17 on that stack, so, again, it's not much of a difference if you get the low roll versus the high roll, but, you know, it is a significant difference in skinning speed and kill speed, and that's where the money truly comes in on skinning. Again, we got 17 that time once again, but you get the idea. Just want to show it off, and why it's important to level skinning. Oh, and this right here is a hidden treasure, so this is why we have Bloom on. It's right here. You can see the glow. You break the hidden treasure, you get some silver, got 5,300 there, and some loot. Now, the higher tier zones obviously have way better hidden treasures. This is just a tier 4 zone. Alright, servers are back up, and it's time to faction flag for bonuses. You have to be at least tier 6 Reaver unlocked to do this, and the faction vendor is this orange little flag right here called Faction Enlistment. You're going to talk to this person right here, and you're going to hit Enlist, and then yes, and then flag up. There we go. Alright, so what that did is that added an orange flag next to our name. So let me explain how faction flagging works. Essentially, if someone flags up as PvP, which we did earlier in the video, in a blue or yellow zone, they can't attack us, because we are now in a faction. But, if someone from a different city faction flags up, they can fight us. Alright, so like over here is Martlock, they have a faction, it's blue. And if we meet over here somewhere in the middle or wherever the fight is, we can fight each other. And as long as we fight each other in a blue or a yellow zone, we can't kill each other, but we can down one another. So you can see right now, Bridgewatch is attacking this faction outpost and capturing it. So they're this is gonna turn from blue to orange, and you earn faction points, which earns lots of treasure and loot, and you can spend the points like a currency. But also, the more zones away from town you are, the more fame, silver, and loot you get. So you want to do this when you're skinning, when you're fame farming, when you're just playing around. And what I should be doing right now is I should actually go and join the fight and follow the herd. So I'm going to do just that. I'm still going to be skinning and killing mobs, but I'm also going to follow the faction fights so that I can earn points and rewards and rank up in the faction and earn more silver and more fame that way as well. It's basically just double dipping what you're already doing anyway. And sometimes it's not the actual faction making a move, it's just a player attacking the outpost for whatever reason. So in this case, there's really nothing going on, but there might be soon, so I'm going to fame farm in this area. And this is a tier 5 zone, as indicated by the tier 5 icon on these mobs, so they're a little bit tougher to kill. But I should be able to fight them, since I do have the appropriate Reaver, and my gear isn't bad, right? I can grow big and, take half damage, I can armor shred, and you can see that they still go down, and they give more fame than the tier 4 zone, so it's just nice to do. And there are tier 5 enemies, or animals to skin, but we're not tier 4, so we can't skin the tier 5 yet. But we can still skin the tier 4 animals, so I'm going to keep skinning and mob grinding, and that's what I'm doing. Also, when comparing this character to the other one, I get an average of 9 hides, so with that other character I was getting an average of 17 to maybe 21, so big difference. Whereas, yeah, the maximum I could technically get if I hit all my rolls is 15, but it's very rare to hit 15 3 times in a row as we're just starting out. Also, as you ride around, you may encounter a map icon on the map. These are in tier 5 and up zones, and if you click on it after you kill the mobs, you can click on the map. It'll do what's called a boss lair, and these things just have a dungeon boss that you kill, and there's some loot. It's pretty simple. And this character's build is more than strong enough to take on these bosses. We're just going to curse them up, dodge the attacks. It's a pretty simple pattern. There we go. Just curse them up, cast all of our spells, and we should be able to out DPS them no problem. If we get caught in attacks, we can grow big. You can see that our health is barely dropping compared to this boss's here. And yeah, it's a bit of a fight, but it's supposed to be like a little boss fight. So again, we're just going to make sure we have 4 curse stacks. We shred his armor. When the curse explosion happens, that deals a tremendous amount of damage. And yeah, it takes most of our mana to do so, but it's easy enough. Let's see what kind of loot we get. Most of the time, the loot won't be that great. Like real talk, it's usually crap, but sometimes you can get lucky. You can get very lucky and get what's called a jackpot. Let's see if we got a jackpot. We made 55,000, so that's actually decent for a new player like us, but if I would, as an established player, that's garbage. That's a garbage amount of silver. It's really crappy. But yeah, that's it's not bad. We actually got a little gear upgrade too. We got this 6-1 mage cowl, so we can keep this and equip it later when we're allowed to wear it, which is not too far away, honestly. Just gather 1,000 resources in steppe regions, and let's go ahead and claim all these unclaimed rewards. And now these are called beginner's bags of silver. You get these from chests and other kind of drops, and you can't drop these on death. You can't trade them. Just use them and you'll get the silver immediately. So I just got 15,000 silver. That's really all they do. We have a Master's Skinner tome that we got from a reward, and so we're at 15% on our skinning, so we can use this, maybe, if it'll let us. No, we can't use this yet because we haven't unlocked tier 6 skinning, so we'll just have to hold on to that for later. Now, one quick tip while gathering out on the horse is you can actually go to your boots and toggle your passive to maximum load. I'm at 108 carry capacity right now, and I don't want to go back to town yet, so I'm going to toggle those boots, and now it's down to 89%. However, I did lose the passive of having more defense, though it's not very much. And I can dodge most of the attacks anyway, but just keep that in mind to retoggle your boots back on whenever you want the defensive passive again. Alright, another successful run. I'm going to toggle my boots back because I'm back in town. I'm going to sell all this stuff, and I'm just going to quick sell it. And yeah, there we go. Just get some money. That way we can buy our cape upgrade, and then we sell the hides that we got here. There we go, getting more money, getting paid. You can see we're up to 153k now, not bad, pretty good. And I know I'm not getting the best deals by quick selling, but it is what it is. And I know there's a quick sell function, but it's very scammy. Also doesn't let me check prices, so don't really get used to using quick sell. This is for rich, this is a button rich people push. Not a button you should push. But now you're gonna buy an Adept's Care Leon cape. And the enchantment level does not matter. It is, it's just slightly better cooldown. Like, for instance, 4.1 is a 35.2 cooldown, and a flat 4, or no enchantment level, is 36.7. So, a 1 second difference on cooldown. It doesn't matter. Just buy the cheapest one. Don't worry too much about it, and then put that bad boy on. So, what does this cape do? This cape gives you a passive ability that lets you cast your weapon's first slot or Q spell ability twice. So it basically lets you double cast, and it has a cooldown of 30-something seconds. So instead of casting one Q, you can now do it twice, which means you can stack an enemy up to 4 curses, allowing you to death curse immediately rather than waiting on the cooldown of 5 seconds for your cursed sickle to come back. So it dramatically speeds up your kill time. Alright? And with this set, that completes your safe zone farming set. Alright? This is a set you should always have and never bring to a red or a black zone ever, 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 and that you will use to fame farm up. And for now, we're still going to be using it to skin. But we're pretty close to that 20% adept animal skinner, so I'm just going to run into a tier 4 blue zone and get that to 20% so I can show you what to buy next. And we have 75,000 silver in the bank, which is really nice. And we're going to spend that on gathering gear next. Yeah, with our double Q casting, we can just cast 2 of these, and it's just going to hit all the enemies. And yeah, they die so fast. It's so easy, so fun, and especially even on single target. Now, obviously, this cape isn't as useful when we hit level 40. We will swap that to a lightning auto-attack cape instead. There's a corpse under here, and I couldn't friggin' click on it. I swear there was a 5th one, but it's buried under the hill somewhere. Oh, well. Now, you'll notice the icon under my name. Okay, it just went away. But I'll show you once I cast my Q spell once again here. And you'll see this little cape icon. So it says cape cooldown, remaining 32 seconds. So that's how you know that your cape cooldown is ready to push again. Alright, we just got the Adept Animal Skinner at 20%. And so we're going to click on that, and this is going to cost 35 learning points, and this is going to allow us now to access Tier 4 animal skinning equipment. That includes a Tier 4 skinning knife or the Avalonian skinning knife, and this thing is expensive. This is 105,000. And we also want the gathering gear, and we can also start using and finding these expert animal skinner tomes from animals. It's very rare that they drop, but you do get them from time to time. Now, to get learning points, because you have 3 days of premium, every 24 hours or every day, you will passively receive 20, regardless if you log in or not. But without premium, you have to do the daily challenge award, which we did earlier and got that tome, and you just kill mobs to get challenge points, and at 1,200 challenge points, you do the daily challenge. So without premium, you only get 10 learning points a day if you're actively playing the game. Also note, you're not really going to feel... Oh, a hidden treasure, here we go. You're not going to feel much of a difference in your skinning speed, your gathering speed, and your gathering yield until you hit Tier 7 gathering. When you hit Tier 7, that's when you'll see a big difference, alright? So keep at it until then. Now, I want to point out that you're going to be learning point capped for a little while, and so the way you should technically progress your character is that, for instance, to get to Tier 5 skinning, we're going to need around 100 of these things, which we have. But after that, you're going to need, 200-something, and that's going to take, at least a week or 2 to accumulate. And you can manually level it to 100%. You can, but it takes forever. You can level it to 20, let it set, wait for your learning points to accumulate, and then spend it, and that's what I recommend. And again, Tier 7 is going to be 351, and Tier 8, 409. So yes, it does take a long time to level up your skinning to Tier 8, but it's absolutely worth it. Alright, so here are all the things that you're now going to buy. You're going to buy the Journeyman's Transport Ox. Go ahead and put that bad boy on. Now, this thing is slower than a horse, but it can carry a lot more weight. Also, riding an ox gives you a reward, so you can go ahead and claim that if you want. And we're just going to, again, use that book. There we go. Alright, so with that equipped now, we can then put on the Skinner's Garb, the work boots, and the cap. Also, we bought a 4.1 Adept's Bag. I don't need to explain 4.1 or 0.1 or enchantment levels. I did that earlier. And so now we have more carry weight. We have an ox that can carry quite a lot of stuff, up to 784 more kilograms worth of stuff. And so I'm going to explain now how carry weight works on an ox. When you're on the ox, you have, hold on, let me hide that. You have two numbers. We have a 3% and an 18%. So 3% is my current carry weight while the ox, either I'm on it or I'm within the summoned circle of the ox. Now, if I leave the ox without it summoned, my carry weight is 18%. So this means that if in PvP combat, if someone attacks you, it unsummons your mount if you are not on the mount. So that means someone can dismount you or unsummon your mount, and then your carry weight gets too high and you can't move and you die. So that would suck, all right? So keep those numbers in mind here at the top, all right? And it'll also show right here 3% or 18% when there's no mount summoned. Now, real quick, I want to point out Gamekeeper journals. You can buy these things called Gamekeeper's Journal, and whenever you skin a mob, it'll add... You still get the fame for yourself, but it also adds the fame to this book. And when the book fills up, you can give it to what's called a laborer if you have islands. Or, in your case, since you're new, you won't have islands yet. You can sell the full Gamekeeper journals. These are trophy ones, unfortunately, but yeah, you can sell the full regular journals for like 1,000. So if I buy them for 500 and sell them for 1,000, that's free silver. Especially later on when I'm full tier 8, I can fill 96 of these an hour, and you know, instead of selling them to another player for 1,000, I get about 2,000 or so value out of them instead. And so that silver can way add up. 2,000 times 94, 97, whatever I said. Yeah, the silver starts multiplying like crazy, but again, for now, don't worry about it. Now, obviously, you don't want to carry around your combat equipment on you when you're out gathering, so you would go bank that. And remember, we're in the market, but if you want to access the bank from the market, it's right down here in the southwest. You just go right down here. That'll get you to the bank. You can put your stuff in that chest and then go gather to your heart's content. And, yeah, so there we go. We can go ahead and bank our stuff. Now, you obviously want to keep the skinning knife on you. If you don't have that on you, then you can't skin anything. All right, let's say you've been gathering a while, hypothetically, and you got some silver built up. So we're at 208,000 silver right now. Well, why don't we try some dangerous zone fame farming for a bit? You know, the mobs will drop more silver. We can also get killed and lose everything. So we're going to go in a very budget set. I have the 4.1 Mage Cow, Stalker Jacket, Curse Staff, and Guardian Boots to kill mobs with. Not players, but mobs. And our set, these items and the horse is worth 35,962. I have 200,000 right now, so I can die with this set 5 times before I go bankrupt. But because I have a set that is just like this in the bank, I can always use that to fame farm in safe zones. And because I have that gathering set and tier 4 gathering, I always have a way to make money. So that is the foundation. So if you want to be like the hardcore PvP epic dude bro Reddit guy with face tattoos, then you can absolutely start going to the unsafe zones and fame farming and doing PvP at this point, even though you really shouldn't PvP until you have level 100 mastery and 100 specialization, which we have 9. It's quite a grind. It's quite a grind. But, yeah. So, yeah. It used to in the game, before several patches ago, fame farming in the yellow and safe zones was the fastest way to fame up. But it is not anymore, sadly. They have nerfed it, and so now the black and red zones are better. But with that said, you know, I do want to go out with some food. So I'm gonna buy a cabbage soup, because this is going to heal me in between mob pools. And so I'm going to eat that whenever I get out to... I'm going to do some red zone fame farming, okay? And you can see here that hold on, that's not what I want to do. I still haven't unlocked a Grandmaster Reaver, which means I can't go to tier 7 zones. So I need to stick to tier 6 red zones. Now I'm going to also be faction flagged. So there are more chances that people can kill me, but I know what I'm doing. And if I die, I'm actually a billionaire, so it's not a big deal. But you want to make sure that you have some silver banked up, that you have your gathering set in the bank, and a fame farming set for safe zones in the bank, just waiting for you in case bad stuff happens. You want a backup plan. Because if you don't, you'll be naked running around these zones, grabbing stones off the floor to sell, to buy a mule, and you'll be back to square one. And at that point, you might as well just, like, start over. I don't know, man. Like, don't start over, but you don't want to go bankrupt. That's what I'm trying to say. And yes, I am aware that my character does not have an offhand. I could have put a torch on, but I'm not expecting to live very long, so I want to limit my how much, you know, I'm gonna lose. Also, if you come across like a glowing mob like this, then absolutely kill it, because these things are pretty juicy. And I know I'm not doing the best rotation, but it'll still die regardless, right? And again, right now, our Curse Staff, it will kill much faster when we unlock the Cursed Tar ability, but also when we unlock the Cursed Beam ability. And you combine the two, and it's one of the best AoE nukers in the game for PvE mobs that stand still in one spot. Now, a player obviously won't stand in your puddles, and if you laser them, they're going to interrupt it or walk away from you. So it only works on monsters, really, but it is what it is. Alright, so we are at the entrance of a red zone, or rather, this is a tier 7 red zone. We don't want to be in tier 7, but I'm going to enter it anyway. You want to look out for people hanging out at the entrance like this, like what I'm doing right now. If there's someone naked on an ox sitting here, they could be a scout. Now, this is going to warn you, it's lethal PvP. You go in here, you could possibly die, but there's ways to maybe negate it. So here's a naked scout. Look at him. Look at him go. This guy is an automated AI bot program. This is a cheat program. This guy has no stats whatsoever. Look, total fame 1,108. I'm a new character. I have 123,000, right? This guy is a literal bot, okay? And he is scanning people to see if they are worth murdering. Obviously, I'm not. And he's going to scan my profile. Obviously, I have no crafting fame whatsoever. No gathering fame, so I'm not really a target. You'll notice down here in the bottom right, we have a 0 count on the hostile players count. And so, there's no one here to murder us. As long as we don't enter an open world camp, we should be just fine. Now, because it's a tier 7 zone and I don't have the tier 7 Reaver, I can't fame farm here because these guys will slap the hell out of me, and they will be very hard to kill. I could still kill them. I could still absolutely, like, kill this guy. I'll show you right now. We're gonna Q, E. We don't have our cape, so we have to wait for the cooldown, but we do piddly amounts of damage, and you can see here, it's quite a struggle compared to, you know, if we have our actual build. And again, I'm looking out for players near, you know, that might be flagging up or hearing me fight. People are out to get you in this zone, and they want to kill you even if your gear sucks, just for the thrill of it, okay? So we killed them, 1,800, you know, silver, so it's pretty good. We kill like 20 of those guys, and we pay for our set. Not a bad deal. And each of those kills is almost like a Tome of Insight, almost. Just note that I do have premium active, and as soon as that runs out, you're getting half as much fame and half as much silver per kill, so you gotta make it count on your first 3 days big time. Now, also note, I am faction flagged, so even though this number down here is 0, there could still be an enemy faction player, or even Caerleon, which kills everybody. And you gotta watch out for those red names, and the thing is, people know how to stalk you off your screen, they have radar hacks, there's a whole lot of things that they do. Now, this is Astolat, this is not a zone with really proper mob camps or anything, so it's not a good place to be either. So I'm going to find somewhere else to fame farm. So I've found a treasure coffer, and someone might try to ambush me here because this is a PvP-enabled area, but there's some loot, it looks like. You can go ahead and yoink those up. Awesome stuff. We managed to get it without any danger. There was no one around, and those things, you can only see them on your map if you're near them. So we got 20,000 silver out of that. We got some absolute garbage. Unfortunately, it really wasn't worth the risk. You know, 10k fame tome there, which is bound to us, so if we die, we don't lose this. That's what that little symbol means. You can't trade it, but you also can't lose it upon death, so that's nice. Alright, we're in a tier 6 zone. You know this because it's red. You can look at the map here. Tier 6 Dead Vein Gully. We can fame farm here, and it's not too far away from Caerleon, but yeah, these guys, they're going to be a little bit harder to kill because they're tier 6 mobs, but it is a red zone, so we get a bonus for being in the red zone. And I'll show you what the fight looks like. Again, oh, we got a flat PvP guy already. Ooh, he tried to walk into my spells to get my mount to disappear. Look at that. Look at this guy would absolutely murder us. He would slaughter us dead. There's 5 PvPers on the map right now. You see, it's when I tell people to avoid red zones, this is why. Like, if you're a new player, you're not gonna know these things. And yeah, that guy, he tried to, if he was able to dismount me, then I would have been dead. I don't have a way to fight that guy or run from him. He massively outgears me. Here's a dead player. He has no loot. I'm going to throw that trash away, and his loot bag disappears. So, yeah, you really got to watch yourself in these zones. And maybe he looked at me. Now, here's the thing. Gankers in a red zone. Red zone is considered murder. It's not self-defense. So when they do gank you, they lose 500 reputation. And so, sometimes some of them will save the kills for the juicy players. They see me, they look at my stats right now because I'm a new player. I might not be worth 35k, but a lot of players don't give a damn because rep is very easy to farm. And they just go to a group dungeon and kill like a few enemies, and they're back to square one. You really have to watch yourself out here. Alright, so I'm going to try this pool. And there's still 5 gankers on the map. I have nowhere to run that's safe. And for all I know, they could be hovering outside of my nameplate radius with radar waiting for me. But we're going to chance it. We're just going to see what happens. Alright? And, yeah, we're just going to hope nothing bad happens. Let's hope for the best. But yeah, you know, we're killing them. We have the Reaver level, and we don't want to stand in their attacks. They still hurt pretty bad. But yeah, 5.6k fame each, 1,400 silver, 1,200 silver. Not too bad. You know, it's alright. And I'm going to keep fame farming. We're at 35% Grandmaster Reaver. Against single targets, it's a little easier with this build because we can just curse them. And that's kind of the whole point of this build, is to just be really, really hard hitting on single targets. This is how you're going to kill bosses this early on, and so on and so forth. But yeah. Defeat 5 roaming mobs in a red zone. Cool. Nice reward. That's a red one there. We can go ahead and just pop that. I don't have my offhand, so I kind of wasted it a little bit, but it's fine. This is just a throwaway character for YouTube anyway, right? It's not a character I'm going to keep playing. Now, you may think this is a good pull, but these are pikemen recruits, so they're not really worth that much. You'll come to... Oh, a purple chest from an Avalonian treasure drone. This is rare. The servers did just restart, so we're going to go ahead and kill this, and hopefully there's some juicy loot in it. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we get. That is 243k. That's a jackpot. We got our first jackpot on this character, and because we got a jackpot, we need to leave immediately. We're going to teleport home, and we're gonna go sell this. This is our entire net worth. We don't want to die with this. All right, someone just died on the map somewhere. It just said in the chat log. So we want to get the hell out of here. It's dangerous. We are worth a bunch of money right now. So, yeah. Sometimes you get lucky in this game. You find a damn roaming treasure goblin of sorts. And, yeah. Not bad, you know. And, again, you can find these in Tier 6 yellow zones, you know. So you can still get lucky in the save zones. I'm just going to quick sell because I'm late. I'm a lazy guy. And, oh, I lost so much there. But whatever. I don't care. We're at 404,000. You know, and we can go back out. We can keep doing this, or we can go to the black zone, which is even more dangerous because in the black zone, we don't know how many people there are trying to murder us, and we don't know. Most of the time, people in the black zone, they're not like in little 5-man groups; they're in 20-man groups, and it's because they own the zone. These are the zones that players have their own little built hideouts or like player cities and stuff. So we're going to go through the safe portal and see where it punts us. And this is going to cost us 10,000. That's nothing now. We have 400k. We're rolling in the dough, baby. So right now it put us... Where'd it put us? We're going to reset camera. We're in a tier 5 black zone, which is not bad. We can fame farm here just fine. Right? It's pretty good. It's not the best, but we're next to a tier 6 zone or a tier 6 zone. I'm going to go to the tier 6 zone. I think I'm going to go to the tier 6 zone, which is right over here. This is my safety portal. I can just run back there. If I'm not in combat, if you are in combat with another player, you cannot use that portal. You will be locked in. So don't think that you could fight someone and have an easy out, because that's not how those work, okay? So yeah, we're in the black zone. This earns actually more fame than the red zone per mob kill. That's what I'm saying. But you can't faction flag. Everyone's hostile. You can't see how many people are hostile. The map set down here says there are 0 to 5 players right now. So we have an occultist. Yeah, let's go ahead and fight this occultist. And again, the enemies here are stronger because it is a black zone. They are slightly stronger. This is a tier 6 enemy, just like before. And we're going to just murder them down. Our build absolutely melts things. Just keep in mind, if a player runs up to us while we're doing all our fancy spells and they walk into our spells, we're technically attacking them. And because we're attacking them, that means our mount unsummons itself. Now, this is a mini-boss. This thing is really juicy and a layer map. but there's a lot of other mobs also guarding it. So what I want to do is, can I pull this enemy without pulling anyone else? So we're going to test the waters here. Okay, good. So now we're fighting a mini-boss. All right, these guys are a little bit stronger than normal, so we're going to... Uh-oh, I'm getting ganked. But let's just mount up and leave. And this guy... Oh, is he bootsing? Oh, he's grabbed me, but is he going to be able to... Well, he's got some curse stacks on me. I can run to safety. I'm not in too much danger. I will get dismounted from this. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to get dismounted from this. That's fine. I'm dismounted. But I can just run here, and I can get a safety bubble. And he knows this. He knows that I'm gone. I think he just wanted to shoo me away from that boss map. Now, there's 0 to 5 players on this zone, and he just so happens to be right there, right? I can wait 10 seconds for my mount cooldown to come back. Also, I didn't check that guy's gear. Maybe I don't think I can kill him. I'm a new player with no specialization, right? But if he is fighting those mobs, I can ambush him. So I'm going to switch my skills a little bit and maybe try to do a little PvP and kill this guy and get his stuff. Because that would be cool for a video, right? So I'm going to try to get him at a disadvantage. Maybe he's fighting those mobs. Like, he chased me away, and I'm looking for his nameplate. No. He's not interested in the mobs. He might be interested in ambushing someone interested in the mobs. You have to keep that in mind. Like, that player knew these guys were here, and he's like, as soon as I hear someone fighting them, I'm going to run in and smush them and take their stuff, right? And there is no rep loss in the black zone. There is no reputation loss. For all I know, he could be in this dungeon, and he could pop out and fight me. Now, he'll have like a 5-second cooldown before he can do that. Now, what I can possibly do is take the risk of re-fighting this enemy again with that guy around. And for all I know, he could be radar hacking, and if he is radar hacking, which I don't think he is, because he would have ran at me from off screen, but if he was, he will always be outside of my nameplate range, because whenever I run towards him, he runs away. When I run away from him, he runs towards me. That's how radar hackers work. So we're going to try, despite knowing that this guy knows that we want to kill this boss, we're going to try to fight this again, okay? We can replace 10 of these sets. It's fine if we die, right? So let's pull this guy out and fight him nice and slow near our mount. But this guy does spam AoE spells, so he is kind of dangerous. And I don't want to use my armor ability in case that guy shows up again. Like, I am terrified, alright? So, I gotta keep safe. And I accidentally pulled this stone golem thing. So that's not good. And he's gonna make the fight even more difficult. But we can still maybe kill a mount up, which will de-aggro the stone golem guy. I think we're alright. And I know I'm not comboing my abilities properly, but... Oh, here he comes. He's coming at me from off screen. But that's okay. I have boots. As long as I don't attack him, I will not be considered in combat. So I'm going to... He's bootsing. He is wanderlusting. I'm going to try to run out of his range. I can't fight this guy. He's way too geared. He's going to root me here. There we go. He's rooted me. As long as I don't attack him, I'm not in combat. I can maybe make... Oh, he might kill me here. Let's get the stone golem to maybe put a wall up. Am I dead? I'm dead. So I just died. Okay. So he ran at me from off screen. I told you that's what would happen, and it did happen. So now I lost, well, 35k. Did we even kill the enemy we were trying to kill? I don't think we did. So we really got nothing out of that. It's whatever. But we died. That's the game. It sucks. This is why I tell people, don't go to the red or black zones and unless you're okay with losing everything. So I'm going to pay $43,000 and just get my stuff back. And we're still up. You know, we're still up. We're at $351,000. All right. And we got some rewards there for buying more crap. You know, the game's like, they're there. It's okay. And all you can do is keep going. Like, there's no way to fight that guy. He was just a stronger build with better items and more specialization. And you're going to be a bottom feeder for a very long time until you hit level 100. Now, where did this put us? Where are we thrown at this time? Tier 6 zone. All right, cool. There's a portal here. And, again, we can continue fame farming. We might or might not find any enemies, but, yeah. It's a bummer, and it happens. You just kind of... You know how we got lucky? Well, that guy... he didn't really get lucky because he got 35k, man. Like, once you understand the economics of this game, 35,000 silver is nothing. It's like... You go skin a few mobs with maximum gather. There's another freaking person out here. This guy is gathering, though. He's a skinner. Look at his weapon, his maximum spec, because you can see his specialization on his weapon. He's probably not out here to kill us, but you never know. Gatherers can be vicious. Let's kill this thing. This thing is an enchanted tier 6 mob. These are still quite dangerous for us right now. We don't have a lot of good gear or spec, and so we have to play this very cautiously, alright? And not stand in those attacks, because that's how we get absolutely defeated. But let's try to kill it quickly, and when we have better gear and more spec, we will be able to kill these relatively fast and get more fame. 18,000 fame, 3,000 silver, alright? We've already earned 10% of the silver back that we lost from dying to that guy. So, think of it like that, alright? Yeah, he got our money, it sucks, it really does feel bad. But one day, you get to be the guy that does what he did. And if I want to, I can swap to my main and put on a Gucci set and go kick his ass. I can absolutely murder the freak show and get my stuff back on my main, if I care, alright? Just note that also on your character, every death and kill is stained forever. So Ruben Stark is who we... Yeah, he killed us. So Ruben Stark, he's killed 3,309 people. He also speaks Spanish. And he has no guild, so we can't join his Discord and yap at him about it or whatever. Okay, so just keep in mind that there are websites that track your kills and deaths, and forever, Ruben Stark, if you're a famous guy, like if Giga Chadpilled gets famous, well, Giga Chadpilled, Ruben Stark could be like, yeah, I killed that guy, you know, in 2025 back in the day. Yeah, I killed him. What now? Right? So that's always the thing going. Also, here's the thing too. Like in the future, let's say Giga Chadpilled was an actual player who's going to continue playing the game. You might join a guild one day, and then you could be like, oh, I remember you, Ruben Stark. You were the first guy to ever kill me. And he'll be like, yeah, well, we're in the same guild now, so we're amigos, right? And then, yeah, and then you could be friends. Now, this in the middle is called a static dungeon. You don't want to go in those. These are meant for groups of players. You'll notice that they have like a black sword icon above them. They also have an insane amount of HP. So you just avoid the static, okay? That's for groups of players. You can't solo that unless you're in maximum gear. And I don't know why you would bring that to a black zone anyway. And soloing statics doesn't even work anymore. That used to be the best fame farm in the game in safe zones. But they nerfed it. Hey, look, a treasure coffer. And it's unlocked, and there might not be anyone there. Or there might be someone there, but we can open this and get some... It's only a green one, but hey, those can still be good. Let's see what we get. Anything good? Yeah, 70k. That's not bad. That's pretty darn good. And what is... Oh, those are smuggler's coins. Is there a smuggler's den nearby that I can turn this into? Maybe. Oh, it's... I don't know the area I'm in. And I don't want to just have my map open while people run up and murder me, right? That would be a bad thing. But you can turn those coins into a smuggler's den and get some reputation with the smugglers. Also, these little camps, this one's empty. Let's find another one. These are actually pretty good to do to farm for new players. You can get lots of treasure, lots of fame tomes. I'll try to show you one. Hopefully I don't get murdered doing it. A lot of gankers love these things, all right? So this is called an outdoor encampment. This is a solo encampment. There's also group ones. But for solo encampments, you'll have a little progress meter here. And I'll show you how it works. So we're going to kill some mobs. Alright, killing the mobs, whatever. You know, we're doing it. Not standing in their attacks. It does take time because we're a new player with not the best gear. We actually have the very bare minimum gear, right? And you'll notice that the progression here has jumped up a bit, right? So when we finish the progression, there is a chest in the middle of the camp that we can open. This chest right here, this solo cache. And when we open it, it can have fame tomes. It'll always have fame tomes if it doesn't have treasure. But it can have treasure. And it can potentially have a lot of treasure. Alright, but again, people love to gank these. They hear you fighting, they run in, they blow you up, they kill you. I love to gank them too. I'm guilty of the same treatment that the other guy gave me earlier, okay? I do it to players, they do it to me. It's that's the game. That's kind of the whole gameplay loop. It's like murdering each other and acquiring money. That's basically it, okay? And you'll see, you know, the enchanted ones give pretty good fame. Alright, now this is a pretty tough mob. This is the Dark Paladin, but he's worth killing, so it's kind of slow to kill him because he's got a lot of health. Did I miss that laser? He's going to do a little dash there. There we go. Breathe some fire into his face. And he sometimes resets. It's kind of annoying. It's easy to dodge his attacks, but it takes forever to kill him. If you have any kind of channeled ability, Also, I can eat my soup here and kind of feint his shield bash. That's a pretty cool little advanced trick for you. I think a streamer stole that from me, by the way. But whatever. And oh, I'm standing in the fire. MMORPG rule number 1: don't stand in the fire, right? And you can see a big progress killing that guy. But you'll notice my HP regeneration is kind of slow here. That's why we brought the vegetable soup or the cabbage soup. When I eat the soup out of combat, it will rapidly restore your health. And so it lets you clear these camps much more quickly and efficiently than you normally would. Also, I don't want to stand inside of these bats. Very bad. Bats equals bad, by the way. Alright. And yeah, these mobs are kicking my butt, but it's fine. Alright, now over here's 2 juicy enchanted mobs. I would love to kill those guys, but I don't know if I have the ability to in my gear and my specialization. Now, just a note, as a new player versus a max specialized player, you're worth 3 whole enchantment levels, or 3 whole, tier levels. For those that don't know, because I didn't explain at the start, your tier level and your enchantment level are basically the same thing. Like 4.1, 4.2 is the same as tier 5 or tier 6, if that makes sense. So, a 4.2, you take 4.2, or 4 plus 2, so that's essentially tier 6. Also, I'm going to get down here, because I'm standing in all of their attacks. It's very awkward to fight these guys. What I need to do, right now, someone can come up and execute me. They can lop off my head and take my loot. But if I stand up in time, they can't do that. I can maybe get away. So, again, this is the danger of doing PvE stuff. And right now, there's only 5 people in this whole zone. Hopefully, they don't hear me or see my nameplate. But that's just how it is, all right? Now, again, getting down, you lose 5% durability. But what I'm trying to say is that you have, like, a tier 4 and then a 4.1. A 4.1 is pretty much the same as a tier 5. Let's move these guys up here a bit. Just want to move them up a bit. So I have a little bit more room to breathe. All right? And cast spells on them and stuff, right? That way I can just kind of fight them left to right. But I do want to, like, kill them faster. So I'm going to try to get in melee range. I know I'm not using my E here. I'm trying to play cautiously. But, yeah, okay, is that gonna hit, really? That is gonna hit me, huh? Okay, fine, whatever. Alright, looks like we took them down. And, one more to go. Just a few more autos. And now we have the camp completed. So, anytime we kill someone in a completed camp, it will no longer give fame or rewards. So, you kind of just want to pick up the chest after you're done and scoot. And, there we go. If you unmount and remount, you can drop aggro. This is worth 134k. We're a little juicy right now. All right, our character is worth quite a bit. 204k. I'm gonna go ahead and go back. I'm gonna use Journey Home. And I know my portal is like right over here, but I'm just gonna pay the 20,000 silver and Journey Home, okay? Because it's safer. All right, and I'm looking around the edges on my screen to make sure no one's running up to murder me as I do this. But yeah, that was a successful run. We died to that one guy and lost 35k, but we went on another run and we made, a lot more. So not too bad. We can just quick sell these and, just eat that. Boom, that's our set, 36k right there. Even if we died, we made our set back in just bags of silver. And we're going to quick sell this. We're going to lose a bunch of money here, but that's fine, whatever, I don't care. And then another, what is that, another 20k there. We now own 500,000 silver, giving us another little reward. And yeah, that's essentially the gameplay loop. So you level up gathering so that you could also gather in the dangerous zones. But I have still found, despite patches, that it's not worth it in the unsafe zones without cheats. A lot of people use cheat codes. They use, not cheat codes, but rather a radar hack that shows them everything around them so they know where all the good resources are. And they tend to vacuum up all the good resources, leaving none for you. So I just stay in the safe zones. I make more silver per hour gathering that way. But yeah. Not a bad run, I suppose. Here's other things I would work on that I just don't have time to film in this video because that would make the video take way too long. I would fame farm to 100 mastery and specialization, mostly in safe zones while binge watching anime, of course, using tier 5.3 gear to speed clear the tier 5 and 6 yellow zones. Then I would make alts and guilds on those alts and, give them access to this character so that I can have multiple guild islands with laborers. Then I would also, while doing all of this simultaneously, by the way, work on getting to tier 8 skinning and get a best in slot skinning set for that so that I can always generate over 1 million silver per hour with premium active 1.7 million silver. Then I would work on leveling cooking with all of that income. And slowly, not all at once. I wouldn't just splurge 111 million to max out cooking. I would just do buy orders, slowly over time, chipping away at all the nodes that I could, that is economically feasible, until they're all 100. Then, that turns into anywhere from 2.6 to 5 to 10 million silver a day with premium active. And to get premium, well, I'd have to get an in-real-life job because premium is too damn high, or AFK a bunch of accounts onto Twitch channels and try to win premium that way. Though a lot of them have stopped doing that, but then again, the majority of them were just giving my Twitch alts premium anyway, so whoops. From that point, I would just hoard silver and buy new cool stuff as it comes out from new patches. Also using silver to flip and make more millions of silver. Basically, having money allows you to make more money. Maybe try PvP every once in a while after a major patch that nerfs the current meta of whatever BS everyone is using. And log in every once in a while and gather or something. Just have the game running in the background while I watch anime, essentially. That's all this game is. It's just something to click on and do with your hands while you watch something else. But it's a sandbox game. You can do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. I just wanted to share with you what I would do as a brand new player with no connections, but with all of my knowledge. This is what I would do. This is how I would do it. And hopefully you learn something. I know this is basically just a best start guide, just worded differently. But that, you know, it is what it is. It's whatever. And if you want to make the real big silver, like, I could take this 600k and turn it into a few million in like 15 minutes by flipping. But that's for channel members only. If you look below this video, there is a join button if you're not in a weird country that hates YouTube. You can click on that, pay $5 a month, and get access to private personal videos that are too good for the public that will teach you all the best money-making secrets in Albion. Wow, I know. Hey, that's what you get for not being shilled some stupid VPN or some lame service you don't actually need. But with that said, that's the video. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't. Who cares? I definitely care. I hope you learned something. That's the whole point. But with that said, click the video on the... I have 10 unclaimed rewards. What am I doing? Yeah. Cool. Forgot to redeem those. Oh, well. You know, this character's just a focus alt anyway. What is a focus alt? That's channel member secret. But anyway, click the video on the right side of your screen. And if you don't, you know what's going to happen. Oh, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to go to a fast food place. It's going to have a long drive-thru. And you're like, man, I don't want to wait in that long drive-thru. So you're going to go inside to order your food thinking that it's going to save you time. Oops. There was a bunch of people already inside also waiting on their food. More people than in that drive-thru. So you're going to have wasted your time. And again, it will happen if you don't click the video. That's how internet magic wizard curses work, okay? So just click the video. You'll save yourself some time.